What is good, everybody? You are back. We are back. Can I stop this and re-record it again? Cause my head is all over the place. I want to do that one more time. I didn't like that one. I messed up. Matter of fact, bump that. I'm gonna just keep
Oh, stop
recording. I don't care.
it.
What's up, everybody? We are back with the sit down, and I have my co-host here, Erica, aka what? You always late, as always. E money. Nah. Tired, late, and delayed, like she was coming on alive on the podcast. Just tired and late.
On a dot, and he's a liar.
No, I'm not lying for nothing. Anyway, now let me stop. Erica, thank you for being a great host. And again, as I always say, I am so happy to have this platform with you
And I'm
and to share it.
happy to have it with you also, Mickey.
Absolutely, and to share this platform with one of the greatest sisters ever. And we also do have, let me not forget, we also have Miss Tanisha.
Hey,
Miss Tanisha,
Right.
who is one of my
Hey,
other
y'all.
great friends and sisters who I love. And she's a new mom, y'all. She's a new mom, soon to give birth. So we are praying for her. We're rooting for her. And we believe that she's going to be one of the next greatest mothers
Yes,
of
she is.
of eternity.
like, I gonna make
No,
me cry. I don't want to be too early.
oh my
Listen,
God. You can't be this sensitive now. I know it's some hormones.
now
Y'all hear
listen,
me?
it was supposed to, we hear you. We hear you.
Okay.
It was supposed to be like Black History in here because we were supposed to have some more Negroes come on. But some Negroes they make it, some Negroes don't, you know. So we made it under the Ground Railroad, and we're here at the sit down. So
Okay.
hold on, but before we start talking about these topics, I got to get my champagne. Listen, this champagne was $8.99 last night at Applebee's. Yes, I'm cheap. I didn't finish it all.
We
But
didn't
what's
go to
this one?
Applebee's food. We went to
We
BBQ.
we
Yeah, just put the champagne down.
same thing. No, you say put the
Oh,
champagne
yeah,
down.
lucky I don't like
Listen, what's wrong with BBQs? Hold on now. What is wrong with
nasty.
BBQs?
Yo, I'm trying to tell you, what the food is good.
The food was very delicious. It was very, very delicious. I mean, it was the bomb. At least the location that we went to. But baby, let me pour it up. Let me
Y'all
pour it up
the
because
co-op.
yeah, we went to
Mm-hmm.
what was it? Bartow Avenue. And look, we're gonna it may lose its sizzle. Can you hear it? Ooh, ooh. Ooh, wait, let me pour it slow. Hold on. Slowly, just slow. Oh, oh, wait, I don't want to spill it on my expensive rug. One day y'all might get a house tour of my chateau, of my place. Oh, yes. Drinky all of
Look,
it.
where did E
Drinky all of it.
go?
Now let me send this disclaimer. I don't drink. Okay? I am a saved man of God. I do once in a while, I have me a little wine or champagne. People have different beliefs. I don't know where Erica went. Hold on. Listen, we don't got no more time for technical difficulties. We've been having technical difficulties in the last studio that we was in, and we don't have time for this. Okay? Hold on.
She better
We're not about to be ghetto.
know.
We're not about to be ghetto. Hold on. Real
Oh
quick.
my
Let me
goodness.
see what is going on with Erica Ferguson.
Sorry.
We don't got time for this. Y'all about to hear me get on her case right now.
Yeah.
She better pick up. Now, if her phone would have died, this is why I told her silly self to make sure she get on the computer.
Please leave your message for
No, I don't got a message for you, Erica. I don't got a message for you right now. This is why I told her to get on the computer, because if she get on the computer, she don't got to worry about nothing else. Y'all are getting the uncensored version of the sit down. This we might as well call this, Tanisha, the behind the scenes version.
So we like get it right.
Like till we get it right. Like I don't understand what is going on tonight. Everything just been going on. We've been doing A, B, C, and D. Knowing good and well, we had a podcast to do tonight. Knowing good and well, what is going on here?
Oh, I just texted. I said, "Where you at?" It went on.
Did she answer back?
I don't know yet.
Wow. Well, you know what, Tanisha? We about to get on with the show. Cause I can't wait. I can't pause anything. We are recording. You understand? And if hopefully Erica will use her intelligence as the intelligent woman of God that she is to log out and log back in. I hope. So I'm gonna get on with the
She better
topics.
bring
Okay.
herself back to there.
Right. She better bring herself back in here. So until she joins back in, I'm going to get going with the topics. Our first topic is Whitney Houston. Matter of fact, before I say Whitney Houston, I thought about something, Tanisha. You know, we always say this, but if those of you who are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Tanisha reminds me of Brandy. We always say that. You remind many of us of Brandy. And I wish you can sing. I wish you had a voice to sing for us. Because you just always remind me of Brandy. Just how you are, your resemblance, and so forth, reminded me of Brandy. So,
Y'all,
here she go, y'all. Here she go.
do you
Here
guys
she
hear
go.
me?
Yes, I do hear you now. I hear you.
There we go.
Oh my!
What happened to you?
It was
Because
a
I
lot.
called your phone. I
Yo,
called
Mickey,
your
my
phone.
phone started freezing on me.
Your phone started freezing. Oh my God, the devil is busy tonight. He just don't want us to be great tonight.
No, he don't.
He just really don't. Well, let's get on because we already started the topics. Let's see what's going to happen, okay? I know it ain't me because I know I live in Yonkers and everything like that, but
Oh,
Not him coming
it's these Bronx connections and Harlem
Wait a
connections. I don't,
it probably is the
Mickey.
Bronx
you
connection.
understand. It just always.
fine. Since I've been on, I ain't have no like you went out for a minute.
I know.
I was fine.
Dang it.
Yeah,
it was the
I'm so
Bronx
sorry
and
for the
Harlem.
inconvenience on this podcast today.
It's okay. Listen, we everything is cool as long as we know we how we're going to go on and go forward. But the first topic that we're talking about is Whitney Houston, the new movie called "I Wanna Dance with Somebody." Can we give a round of applause for the late great Whitney Houston? I love me some Whitney Houston.
Yes,
I'm excited about this movie. You know I love me some Whitney.
You know it.
But I'm excited about this movie because not just that it's about the great Whitney Houston, but she is deserving of being told of her story to be told the right way. Never with this film based upon the trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer. Have you?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know she was having a
I
movie
seen
come
none
out.
of that.
Well, somebody mentioned to me the other day that I just got my new 85-inch. Well, the 85-inch is coming on Monday. And I just ordered it this week,
makes
the
me
great
sick.
Royal TV. So, somebody knows that I ordered my great grand TV. And they was like, well, Mickey, we coming over to the house and we want to see the new Whitney Houston movie at your house. So I said, okay, I'll see, it's going to be $20 to get into the house. so that way you can see the movie. I mean, what you think this is?
Who paying $20? But
Don't
you,
look at me
I
like
ain't paying
that.
$20 to get in your house.
$20, baby. Everything in this
$20.
house is grand and royalty, and you can't come up in here with nothing. You got to get a COVID test before you come in my house. 3 days valid. Yep,
Well, I
that's
don't
what
want
it
to
is.
come then. If it take all that just to get in your little house, I
Well,
don't want to
Negress,
come.
you wasn't invited anyway.
That's fine.
Anyway, you
I
wasn't
didn't want to come
invited.
either
Because
way.
I
You a
don't
liar,
want to get
because you said
sick.
you was gonna be at the front door ringing the bell, and I said you would be sitting outside until you get
Tanisha,
in.
you hear this?
Nah,
I'll just go
I'm
with Tanisha and the
good with the
baby.
COVID.
You good with it? I'm done.
No, we need the COVID, and we don't got time to be getting sick.
Right.
Right, that's facts. We don't
But
have
that
time for that. No
$20,
monkeypox, nothing.
Mickey. I don't
It's
know
just a little
about
jokey
that.
joke. Just a little jokey
He's
joke. Only,
serious.
no, I'm not serious. Only but selective few of the disciples will be invited to the house. So, but getting on with the topic, you know, based upon the trailer, I seen that they're being more focused on Whitney Houston's career, her life, different important
Mm-hmm.
events in her life. They're also talking. I see a clip of them talking about how Black people said that Whitney Houston's music was not Black enough. It wasn't valid enough.
What?
What?
Yeah, because if you ever noticed, Whitney, when she first came out, her music was, she sung a lot of ballads. She sung a lot of, I want to dance with somebody. She sung a lot of pop music,
Mm-hmm.
and
What was her category? What was she considered?
a pop artist.
A pop artist. Okay.
And then but you know what? I feel like as an artist, speaking as an artist, every artist starts off. Well, actually, let me say this. If you are an artist, you have many different gifts.
Mm-hmm.
God does not place one thing inside of us. You may start off with pop, you may start off with R&B, but at the end of the day, you possess different skills. And your skills may cause you to be able to perform in different areas of or genres of music.
Right.
Like me, I can do gospel. Primarily, I am gospel, but I also can do R&B. I can do pop if I wanted to. I can do
Mm-hmm.
rock if I wanted. Well, rock, I don't be feeling rock. I don't like rock. But to each his own. But I can do it if I wanted to. The thing is, why back, we have different ignorances in our community at times.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, our Black people did say, well, her music was not Black enough because it didn't consist of hip hop R&B until sometime later as she developed more in her artistry.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they
Yeah.
want
Interesting, right?
everybody to be the same, do the same thing. Like, we need different genres.
Right. Big facts. So, well, in spite of all those things, they're showing, or let me say this, aside from from that event of time in her life, they're showing more stuff. Versus when when Wendy Williams did the Whitney Houston movie, as one of her versions, and didn't somebody else come out with a Whitney movie?
Oh Lord, I don't know.
I think there were there were two versions of Whitney Houston movies.
Yeah,
Hmm.
There was,
another one was with Bobby Brown, right? Brown.
yeah, there was,
So it was
Y'all
Bobby Brown
listen, because I don't even
movies
remember.
and her movie.
yeah. Well,
But
I
definitely
hope this
wasn't
one is good.
Whitney. Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Because they've been doing these movies of celebrities. It just hasn't been good lately.
Yeah, and you know what I hate? What they did with Whitney Houston's previous movies, they focused so much on her and Bobby. They focused so much, although that was
Hmm.
a big, they were married for so long, although that was a big event of her life, of time, they focused so much on their drug addictions, their
Yeah.
abuse in her relationships. Although that is a part of the juice, and we did enjoy seeing some of those juices,
I'm crying.
but let's add some more flavor and give the respect to the queen, what she deserves, how
Hmm.
we really should what we really should be focusing on, which is the musicality of Whitney, the who she was and so forth, not just her struggles. She's bigger than that. And so kudos to whoever is in charge of the original, because this is coming from an original, um, let me say, whoever is in charge of Whitney's business,
Okay, and
who's
I
ever
hope it's
taken charge of that.
amazing.
Yeah, it
Really
better be.
do. It
Okay,
better.
period. All right, next topic, we're talking about Wendy. I almost said I almost said Wendy Wendell Bartholomew
Ooh,
Williams. I almost said it. But Wendy Williams. Shout out to T.S.
Oh,
Madison on that one.
she look.
Did you see how she looked?
Yeah,
she looks
she
very.
looks
And you know what? I heard she.
bad.
I heard she is very sick and something is going on with her health. But also, I hate to say things like this, but karma is something else.
A
Yeah,
lot of
all them
people do
people
say
she
that.
talked about and all them
Hmm.
And
down,
she didn't care
it
whether
came
the person was
right back
dead
to
or
her.
alive, crippled or not. She will talk about you.
It's true.
True.
It's true. But you know what? I am still, let me say this. Miyoshi, if she was on, she would definitely say, Grace, Mickey, Grace, Grace. Yeah, go that word, Grace again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess I believe in trying to give people grace. You
Right.
know, she's still a human being.
Mm-hmm.
She's not perfect. Not using that as an excuse for her evils and wickedness that she had done. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody out there can say, yeah, but that the business that she was in was that was her brand, to talk about people, to give people her opinion on their careers and so forth. And that is true. But I do also believe that although, yes, it's your brand to talk about people, to just like this, we're here talking about people, but it's about how we do it. It's about what we
Mm-hmm.
say, how we say it, um, and the intent of your
Right.
brand. Because at the end of the day, we may have our ways of how we want to do things, how we want to live our dreams, how our business operate or our brands operate. But at the end of the day, God is the Almighty one that sits high and looks low,
Okay.
and heaven is His throne, and the earth is His footstool. So there's still a spiritual law that we
Mm-hmm.
have to follow. We have to be mindful of, which He says, love your neighbor, love God first, but also love thy neighbor. Um, and just be careful how you, because gossiping, on here we ain't gossiping. Like I said, we sharing. That's
Well, I'm doing a little bit of both.
you know what? Right, right. Facts, 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 facts. You know, um, I guess it's how you do share, and
Mm-hmm.
what do you wish upon people? That's the moral of it. Some people have bad intent behind what they do. But, I don't know Wendy Williams' heart. We don't know her heart. We don't know, but God knows.
Well, I'm
And
wishing her a recovery from whatever she's going through.
mhm,
I hope she heals.
very much true. I hope that she heals.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. I will say it is sad to see her just struggling like the way she is now with her
Yeah.
foot. I think she has gout. I think.
I don't even. I don't know, but she's been having the problems with her health for a very long time.
Hmm.
This is not nothing new to pop up.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need you to know something. Every time I turn around, you don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I
It's like your
don't know.
voice just get higher and higher on. I don't know.
And you don't know much of anything either.
I do know
Tanisha darn
things.
sure don't know nothing. And she always harm you. Huh?
What?
Huh?
Is that
Cause
true,
I
TT?
can't. I
So
don't
she
be
lying. She lying.
hearing. I
Huh?
can't. Sometimes I can't hear. So I be like, huh?
Oh, see, that's not my fault. That's the system's fault. We gonna get it together though.
You know what?
Hmm.
All right, but yeah, Wendy, I
Yeah.
hope whatever she's going through, I hope she overcomes it.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope
Because
she
I
learn
think
how
it's really
like
sad.
when she just stop talking. I hope she will learn her lesson.
Yeah, because I don't want to see her eyes. Like if you see her when the what you call them people, the paparazzis are scoping her, her eyes are like so focused at the people, like they're big as like she sees something else
Hmm.
behind it. And I believe it could be spiritual too, when you
Yeah.
whatever open
Mhm.
doors she had open. And that's why I be praying for her, because whatever doors she had open or had done that has allowed struggle to come back in that way or whatever, because they say she's now back to alcohol abuse according to Hollywood
Oh,
Mhm.
Unlocked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
okay.
and remember when Whitney Houston died, she was very honest about her past and substance
Mm.
abuses as well, like drugs and stuff.
Mm.
So I don't know if after she got divorced with Kevin, and in addition to, I also read that there were also some disputes going on between her management of the Wendy Williams show. Um, they didn't want to they didn't want to seek help for her, knowing her situation, and just giving her the ultimatum of, if you don't stop drinking, then we cannot continue on with the show. So that's the reason why possibly they could have just let her go, or
Oh wow.
as she just got worse with her struggle, and now she's in rehab. But the good news is that she's in rehab, for God's sake. And I just hope and pray that we see Wendy regular again,
Yeah.
and God heals her. That's what I hope for.
And
Yeah.
she
Absolutely.
changed her life around.
Dead serious. Change your life. Change your life.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. We got Art Kelly. My God, today
Oh.
I wish LaKenya was here.
Mhm.
Art Kelly, who was sentenced to 30
Nasty.
years. Listen, we're not gonna start like that on R. Kelly now. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
I no, I used to love R. Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
his music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing the little things he was doing, it's like Kelly.
Yeah, that
Come
is
on
very disturbing.
now.
But this is crazy. 30 years old, you
30
see?
years. But that is only by the federal court.
Mm.
Which he
Mm.
did when he had the trial in New York. I've been over to that place. Well, I wasn't in it, honey. I didn't go to nobody's courthouse for no federal
Oh, 'cause
charges. Let
what
me
what
let
you
me
was doing?
let me tell
You
you, I could have been charged a few things,
oh,
a few things.
Go
okay,
on,
like
Mickey.
what?
But praise be unto God, I could have bust somebody upside their head with a big, big bottle.
Oh Lord.
But praise God, He's delivered me from those things, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. Never
Right.
stop.
No, but honestly, you really don't.
Yeah, well, he was charged 30 years. He was charged and sentenced, excuse me, for 30 years by the federal court in New York some time ago, and has an additional 10 more years.
Oh.
Um, yeah, thanks
Wow.
to the jurors from his recent case last week, he was sentenced for child pornography. And it dated back to the early 2000s, with those there were
How old is R. Kelly right now?
he's like 50 something, I believe.
He's never getting a.
But what I don't, okay, let me continue to give the story for what's happening before I say this. Um, it seems that victory has been won. Many will say that victory has been won for the victims
Hmm.
whose names are Nia. Well, let me say this. These are the victims that were in the courthouse last week, when he got sentenced for 10 years. Their names are Nia, Pauline, and Jane. Two of the girls, while they were on the stand, had admitted that they did a threesome with him, at the age of 15.
Oh.
And one was also introduced by the other to do the pornography, not the pornography, the threesome.
Okay.
And so some may also say that this was also a victory for other girls who could have been in the midst of R. Kelly doing sexual activities. Also, the former business manager, whose name is Daryl McDavid, and Milton June Brown, they were
Mm.
also charged as well in the recent court situation.
Wow.
But last week they were acquitted. who formerly coordinated all payoffs in
Mhm.
Kelly's 2008 porn trial to help their boss, as they both explained, because they had believed him when he said that he was, not guilty, and he was, I guess, innocent in a sense. But I guess, I know one of them said that they listened to their lawyer to just tell the truth, whatever. Tell the truth as far as like what their perspective was on things, and they said that they saw the truths fall or come into play as the federal charges had went forth. You
Mhm.
know, so in addition to that, it goes on to say that Kelly is also suffering and awaiting yet another trial in Cook County, wherever that is, for another conviction. So this man has 30 years plus 10, which is 40, and he has another trial. There's another trial that's coming up um, soon for a sentencing. And it's like at this point,
Mm.
y'all might as well y'all might as well have said life. Because if you give him another 10 years, I,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Do y'all feel bad for him?
I'm going to be honest, I do.
Mm.
I do.
It's basically you reap what you
That's true. You do reap
send, and
what you
he gotta
sow.
suffer his consequences and not do certain things to these little kids he was doing. He made that decision now.
Wow.
He has to live with
I
the
mean, yeah, like at the end of the
consequences.
day,
Yeah, that he has to spend all his life. I ain't gonna speak for everybody else, but for me personally,
Hmm.
life in jail. But it's like you're
Hmm.
grown, you have common what you was doing.
Very
So
true.
I can't feel bad for somebody who did certain like because you knew that's a little kid enough. So why Erica froze?
Erica surely did freeze. Well, you know what? As long as we can see her on this here stream, Lord have mercy, I tell you the truth. The
But
devil is a
yeah,
big lie
uh,
tonight.
I, but yeah, Mickey, it's like he's old enough. Some men could like is when they're just find somebody else. It's weird. That's weird to me. You're a third one do something with like a 15-year-old. Like that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like stuff like
y'all,
that.
the devil is definitely working today, people. Because what is going on?
Yo, I don't know. It's just I gotta contact somebody in the technical difficulties department of these networks and softwares because they got to get it together. We only control the other side. We only control the other
Yeah.
side. But I hear what you're saying. He has to suffer the consequences, unfortunately. But I do feel bad because, like I said
I
about
really
Wendy,
don't. I really don't feel bad. Like I feel bad, but I don't because it's like as a grown man, you should know. You should know your right and your wrongs with little girls because does
true.
you have kids, don't he?
You know what? He does have children. I don't know if he has more than one than other than one
Exactly.
we know about with Drea Kelly. I don't
And
know,
it's
but
like, would you want this happening to your kids? No. So,
you're right. But we
Just
have
like
known R. Kelly as the artist, Robert Kelly as the artist. We
and
sung
now
his
he's known as the
songs.
rapist.
And that's sad.
child
You know what I mean? That's sad.
molester.
And as an artist, I love R. Kelly's artistry. I love R. Kelly as a person as well because he's a human being. I'm not taking up for what he had done. I think he should serve consequences. But I feel sad and I feel bad at the same time because it's like, man, this man is 50 something years old now. And now here he is like Bill Cosby
I was just
serving.
about to
I
say
feel bad for
Bill
Bill
Cosby
Cosby too.
was Bill Cosby was up there.
I said Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's like what, like 90 something, 80 something, and just
He like 80 something. See, black people like to always make Negroes seem like they're older than what they are. We add like 10, 20 extra years to a person.
Yes, we do.
We really do all the time. But nah, he like 80 some years old. And I just feel like, dang, that's not how you're supposed to spend the rest of your remaining years. Or
No,
your
it's
old, let
not.
me not say remaining years, your older years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
You're supposed to be able to, naturally so, you're supposed to be able to enjoy your older years. And these men who have been icons in the industry, who people in the world have looked up to, we still love their music. We still love their art and entertainment. Are now in jail and they can't go nowhere. I mean, it's not that they can't go nowhere, but they are captivated and they may suffer also depression. They may also suffer. I pray to God they don't suffer suicide. But just as much as you are captivated in jail, so is your mind.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the part that I feel bad for. That dang, they got to spend the rest of their years like this. You
Can you
see?
guys hear me?
We can hear you.
I don't know why I can't see myself no more.
Yeah, I don't know why
We
either, but
can't
as long
see.
as as long
Huh?
as yeah, we can't see you at the moment,
You guys.
but it's all right. As long as we hear you at this point, listen. Unless you want to go out, come back in again, you can do that.
I'm so sorry. My podcast crew, we apologize for this
We really
technical
do
day. Today I
apologize.
promise you guys
Yeah.
We
it's
really
been
do.
What is this?
working.
Yeah. This
This is
one
okay.
we're not going to tell what's the name of this company software, but I will do my best to buzz them and see how can they solve the troubles going on. All right? Um
Oh, we going through a lot right now.
right.
Do y'all see me now?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. Now, Tanisha, where you in?
Well, Tanisha will come. If anything, Tanisha will come back in.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next topic. Yep, she's back. She's back, you guys. Boy, am I going to light the people up who made this software. I'm going to light them up. Um,
Boy.
you know what? I should light them up right now. Should I
Yeah.
do it? Should I
Yeah.
do it? Should I expose? Should I do it? All
We've
right.
been having some difficulties for the longest today.
The
Restream.io. I'm gonna light
longest.
you up right now. Listen, I paid $20 for you guys to get this sucker together. I don't care if it is $20.00. Let me tell you something. I paid you to make for an already prepared system that
Mm-hmm.
was gonna make our production right and ethically right for the radio, for podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, in the lands of all the lands of social media. And for us to be getting this result is a problem. It's a
But let me
problem.
just say this, you guys. Mickey is over here ranting, but he told me this never gave him a problem. We all right.
You know what? That is true
Ooh.
because I was doing it by myself the first time. Now I'm back
Mhm.
in this little studio piece with a bunch of Negroes. So
Now what's going on?
now
Period. Yeah.
I don't. You know
Period.
what?
You know
I don't
what?
know what's the
Yeah.
problem
Period.
now. Maybe it's you, Erica. Maybe it's all that grease you got in your head. That syntheticness is affecting the audio system because we didn't have that problem the last time on the last studio part. We didn't have that problem. Your head
Here
didn't
we
have
go,
all this
guys.
synthetic attraction.
Here we
We
You
didn't
know
go.
have
what?
this
Here we
problem
It's
go.
before.
because you
Here we
like when I look
go.
raggedy, don't you?
I like when you look raggedy.
Yep.
I'm used to it, so why would I like it?
Just like I'm used to looking at you looking like you look right now, just raggedy. Boy, I
You
tell
know
you.
what? You better stop.
But yeah, without further ado,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still gonna send some healing to R. Kelly as
Of
well.
course.
Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. In the midst of this case, we know that the managers have been charged and they have been free. If for those of you out there who do not know what acquitted means, it means that the charges have been dropped. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't know. You didn't know. See, slow as always. I knew you were slow. I knew it. Just slow. Slow.
Wait, Mickey, I didn't
Why you
know
ain't answer the
either,
question?
Mickey.
You
I
didn't.
didn't know
Oh Lord, dumb and dumber.
either.
Lord Jesus. Jesus
But when
Christ.
did you find out?
Thing one, and thing two.
When did you find out?
Huh? The system is going out. I'm sorry. Say what?
When
You
he
said
said
what?
I quit
I
it,
I said, when did you find out?
um, this
Mickey just
morning.
looked it up.
This morning.
Oh, just
This
slow.
this
You
early
should have been caught
morning.
up with this stuff.
You know what? I work a lot. I work a lot, and you know this. You just better be
At this
glad that I
point, guys,
understood the definition. But let
you
me
know
ask you
what,
something.
Mickey?
Let me ask you something though. Are there others in this case or in this situation who should be held accountable? Are there others that should be held accountable for these these
Um, I,
sexual things?
I feel like some parents should be accountable as well.
I feel
Okay.
like some parents knew but they didn't say anything because they
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
money
feel
is always
too.
involved.
And it's R. Kelly. They probably like, oh, it's R. Kelly. You know, some parents do sneaky people in this world that'll do
Yes.
Mhm.
anything for a buck.
For a
So
buck.
Yes.
I wouldn't
Couple of
put it
100,000.
past
What?
exactly. So I wouldn't put it past just, oh, it's R. Kelly, it's R. Kelly. But I feel like some parents knew, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, mm-mm.
It's
That's
true.
just where I'm at
Um,
with it.
I hear you. So what about the teenage girls? I'm not victim shaming anybody. Let me put that disclaimer out there. This is not victim
Yeah,
shaming, but it's a real question. What about for
cause
the
I.
teenage girls that
Mhm.
want to mess around with overly aged men? Let me say
Ooh.
that. Am I saying overly? Yeah. What about the teenage girls, the teenage girls in the world that would like to mess with overly aged men? What are the
Okay.
consequences
Woo.
for those girls? Like, the job that we work,
Mm.
we have
Mhm.
cases where girls have, I don't know how old the men were, such and such, but
Yeah.
they have messed with older men due to whatever reasons that is, whether it is insecurities, they not being heard by their parents. Parents have to think about that too. They run away from home and they find affirmations in the outside sources than when they should have gotten these things inside their own home. They should have gotten these things that whatever these men are doing to make them feel validated, they should have gotten it in the house. So what are the
Mhm.
consequences for those teenage girls that are saying, I want to mess with a 40-year-old, 45-year-old, 50-year-old man?
See, that's
I
the
feel like
thing.
if mm,
It's like a fifty
it's
fifty.
no, it ain't no 50-50 with me on this side. But okay, this is how I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. That was a good question,
Keep
Mickey.
talking.
Ah, I
That's
just
it's
feel like
hard because
personally, okay, if the younger kids are making consent to this, do the older repercussions for this action?
but I feel like it doesn't matter if they make consent because they can make consent, but then they could always say, "Oh, this he raped me," just because the person doesn't want to be with them. And then who ends up getting in trouble? The guy, because obviously they're gonna believe the teenage girl because she's underage.
Right.
Okay. Can you give me what you said again? I'm sorry.
Well, me personally, because Erica said like, what if the girl gives the consent, and I said it doesn't really matter if the girl gives consent
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, what if the guy doesn't want to be with her anymore? She could always cry. We'll talk about, oh, he raped me, and then
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna happen? The guy's gonna go to jail because they're gonna believe the underage girl.
Which
That's
is
true.
that's
That's
very
true.
true.
That's very true. No lie.
Yeah,
That
that's
is that is God honestly true.
Because a lot of men
But
went to
right.
jail like for like how can I say it? Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. Went to jail for like faults.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like
Now I
Yeah,
know.
and then the person who was also involved didn't get any. They didn't get any consequences or recommendations for their part.
But then
Yeah.
how
So
do y'all
then,
feel when a guy actually like with the whole victims of sex trafficking, they kill their rapists, but then they end up getting in trouble and have to pay?
Yeah.
Like that
yo,
No,
that's
girl.
that's
another good
stupid.
one.
The system is messed
Yeah.
up right there. That is give the system
Yeah.
for something like that. You mean to tell me? And this is a self defense
Mm-hmm.
situation. So that's
Mm-hmm.
honestly that's nonsense. That's how I feel about that. That is nonsense, and you can't even hurt your you can't
Yeah,
even
the
do
person that
nothing.
offended you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's messed up. Now that y'all that's
So in all totalness, to total it together, can we say that the system is well, aside from them making the rapists, the child abductors, the offenders, like R. Kelly, who do these things. Aside from them, the system making them pay for what they have done, we can say that there is more work to be done in the system, the law, to protect these girls or to protect um, the ones that are trying to protect themselves. It's from what I've heard you say, Tanisha. Um, but
mhm.
yet still, there should also be something in the system that investigates the girls who are looking for that older man
Mhm.
who they knew he was older, um, and they go behind um or they lie about things, to maybe get their way because or to retaliate or such. I think there should be something in the system that is for all situations, that looks and studies all situations and gives consequences to all situations, um
No, I
just
feel
in case,
right.
just in case,
Ooh, that's
you
such
know.
a tough subject to talk about.
That is, but this is why we here at the sit down. This is why we're
Right.
here at the sit down, because we sitting down and we talking about these stuff. We're talking about real stuff. We laugh, we kiki, we have fun, but then we get
It just goes
into
to show
the
how
real stuff.
how women are just really like they just don't put us high enough.
They don't put you high enough.
They take women for granted. Like in this world,
I'm sorry. That was my mom. I'm so sorry. I wasn't laughing at
Okay.
that. My mom,
Oh,
she about to
okay.
hit me with a bottle.
they
Okay.
take us for granted. They take women for granted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take
You
women
get
for
taken for
granted.
yeah. Like you'll see the situation that's going on. Why the just brought back to what Tanisha was saying. Like a female can go to jail for
Hmm.
the person who abducted her and sex trafficked her.
Okay, but how does that tie into the girls? Um,
Oh, you know what?
how does that tie into the girls? Again, the question is, what are the consequences for girls who are 14 years old, 13, 12,
There is no
and
consequences.
There isn't.
there we go.
Like that's
There
what
isn't.
right.
And then we've seen it. We've seen it. This is true story. We've seen parents who have got angry. They found out that their children, the little girls, have been doing what they've been doing, messing with older men. And the
Mm.
child ends up in, well, I guess let's say this. I guess the consequence is that the child ends up in ACS or CPS, because the parent has is now looked at as a bad parent because they reprimanded their children. They have gotten to that behind for what they have done when they
Yeah.
found out that their children were doing something bad, messing with older men. And so they end up,
Right.
this is a true story, they end up in the system of child
Mhm.
protective services. And then it's like child protective services kind of like becomes, they contradict their message or objectives of protecting children, because now it's saying, oh, you as a parent, you cannot what's the word, chastise your children. But then again, there is also a way to chastise your children. I've heard some parents say, I'm gonna beat my child so and so if I find out that they do this and that. Okay, what kind of beating? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go and beating your kids, giving them black eyes, then you give CPS a reason to take your children away. But what I'm saying is, I guess it's just so many things that tie into this thing. It's just, there's
Mhm.
so many factors that we can
What
say
happened?
that really does tie into
I
children
did.
who end up with older men, or young teenagers who end up with older men, either by choice or no choice. There's consequences for
Right.
everything, is what we're saying.
So you think it's
And
tied
sometimes,
as well?
Say it one more time.
So you think there's consequences for the child? In your opinion, I did not hear from you. Would you?
That's what I'm saying.
The question you asked. Hmm.
I think there's not in R. Kelly's case. Let me put that disclaimer out. If only if, regardless, that man should not have been messing, he should have not been messing with any children that's age 15, 14,
At
13,
all.
12 at all. Period.
Right.
This
Right.
all periods after that. But if indeed
Okay.
there has been a
Okay.
child that had an intention, that said, maybe one, not those girls that they put in the case, but other girls that we don't know, that are not in these cases, that have said, you know what, he an older man, he going give me some money, he'll give me a career, da, da, da. And their parents is telling them, like, don't go out to such and such, don't go out to such and such, and they proceed to go on with such and such with R. Kelly because of whatever that's in their mind, and they in on
but
it.
you
They
know,
agree. What about them? Where do they go? Because I'm saying, like, I've never been in a situation where I mess with a celebrity. Well, no, I've had celebrities try to talk to me, or I should say, known people in the business, both gospel and other areas. I ain't saying no names, but um, I remember when I was singing background and traveling with different choirs and such. This is a true story. My mom did not agree with me singing with a particular gospel artist. She didn't like it because she was like, "Oh, you're not getting any compensation for it." And I'm telling you, he uses different people, because she had an experience with this artist and so forth. And I was like, I was hungry. I was hungry to sing with. I was hungry for
Mhm.
my career. Music is my passion. Singing is my passion. But my mom was not with that. My mom. It's not that my mother did not support me. She did support me. My mom, she bought me everything that I needed. She bought me keyboards after keyboards, studio softwares, everything
now you're on
under
the
the sun.
camera. Yeah.
Um, but
I did.
hey,
That's why I went
mom, it's
to
all right,
chat.
mom. You welcome. You welcome
Mickey
to get
said,
up in the
"Hey,
camera.
mom." He said, "You're welcome to get up in the camera."
You are welcome. But
Hold
my
on,
mom,
guys.
she supported me.
Right.
It's just that my mom did not agree for a small period of time that I was singing with one of those people that I wanted to sing with, because she didn't like how he never, and she was right. When I got a little older, I did look at it and I was like, well, wow, what was I doing? Like, God, like, what was I working for? Why did I make it to those rehearsals weekly after week after week, getting home late at night, and I was still in high school trying to, well, I was passing, thank God, But what was I working for? What was I doing? You know what I
Right.
mean? I mean, it gave me an experience in the industry. It taught me some things,
Right.
how people are in the industry, how people can
Mhm.
be. Um, and I wish I did stay a little longer because I feel like I could have learned a little bit more. But I did have good
So
and
let
both
me
bad
ask you a
experiences.
question.
But what
The
I'm
stuff.
saying is, before you get there, I did
Mhm.
not listen to my mom. For kids out there who don't listen
Oh.
to their parents who are wise, I didn't listen to my mom from
Mm.
what she was telling me.
Right.
You- So for the parents that's saying, stop your mess. Don't go out there doing such and such. Don't talk to such and such. Don't mess with such and such. But you start as a kid, you know, you in your own, childlike mind, you still
Mhm.
end up doing it. But when things go wrong, then what? You retaliate, such and such. I'm not saying
Then
that these
now
that
we
these
call.
girls in this case did it,
Look, now
but
we sad.
you said what?
I said, yeah. Like sorry to saying, my mom say it all the time. My hard head makes a soft behind, and
Soft
boy, that
behind.
yeah,
It's
and
true.
boy,
It's true. A hard head, I really am a firm believer that a hard head, it does make a soft
makes
behind.
this.
And then when you turn around, when I turned around, let me say in my experience, although my experience
Oh,
has
here we.
nothing to do with, um,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have anything to do with molestation, rape, somebody using me in the industry. What I'm saying is, as a teenager at the time, my mom told me about a particular, and I love them. I still love the celebrity. But she did tell me
Mm-hmm.
she had an opposition against my will, and I still went forward and did it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but when I look back, I'm like, well, those people never contacted me. Those people never tried to stick with me or keep in contact with me after I left that crew. They never did. They never even tried to welcome me back to travel with them. Or other doors that could have been opened. And maybe God's will was that I didn't do it, because He had another way. So
Right, right.
I don't regret the experience, because I learned something. But you understand what I'm saying, though, Erica, right? You understand what I'm saying,
No, I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So we don't. I mean, if you have any comments, anybody out there has commentary on this R. Kelly case, which is a very serious case. A lot of us in the world, some were affected by it, some weren't. The fans out
Mm-hmm.
there, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Send your recordings in. Um, One of these days, I'll get some. I'll get us to have a call in line. Um,
Right.
but yeah. Um, Going on to the next topic. Going on to the next topic. In the media, Gabrielle Union, aka ISIS, um, where the media has been questioning if she's open to a new Bring It On sequel. They're saying that she, I guess, is in an agreement with it. She is in agreement with it after hearing from some
Wow.
writers, big name writers.
Mm-hmm.
And her idea would be that Isis, which is her character, her role, would have a daughter who is now, I guess, high up in the cheerleading entertainment. What do you
Okay.
think about that?
I would listen. Bring It On is actually, and I would love to see her in it again. Honestly, OBO
Hmm.
Union versus her young self. It would be interesting to see. It really would.
Okay.
Wow.
Do we even remember
You
what
know,
happened in the former movie after 20 years or so?
I don't think so. But you could remember stuff that vividly happened in that movie.
Like, I mean, like the best parts. We remember like the best scenes, like
Was this the one the different Bring It On from the one with Solange, right?
right. This is not, no, we're not talking about those Bring It Ons. No offense, I love me some Solange, but we talking about the real Bring It On with Gabrielle Union and my homegirl from the R&B group.
We're gonna stop because that one was
No, that wasn't
We're
as
not gonna
good
say.
as the first
Yes, it
one.
was.
No, it was not.
Really wasn't good, Mickey.
What made it good? What made it as good as the first one?
Every favorite ones.
Who?
That's my favorite.
No. Well, you know what? I feel like with Gabrielle Union's version, the first one, um, their characters, like they added that feistiness to their roles. They added some hip hop
Right.
culture.
Mm-hmm.
It was not just hip hop culture in that movie. It was very diverse. Not to say that the other ones weren't, but it made us feel like, dang, like we're the audience there, enjoying the performances, seeing the performances. There was just
Mm-hmm.
character and entertainment as a dual power together in the film. And to be honest with you,
Right.
I really couldn't get through the other Bring It On films, and
Mm.
Gabrielle Union wasn't in it, so I couldn't really get to it. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't.
Wow. That's interesting. Everybody feel like the one with Solange is the best one. I love my
Oh,
girl Gabby Union. I do. I feel like 9 times out of 10 people are gonna say that's the best one.
okay. Well, I might have to rewatch it. I might just have to
I
rewatch
think you
that
should.
sucker.
You know what? That's what we should do. Watch both. Which one is we could compare the two?
Yeah, and if I win and I find out that first one with Gabrielle was better, you owe me some money.
How much money?
A lot. I won
Well,
150 million, 150,000.
predict yourself.
You just so ghetto. And nobody asked you to fix your hair up in the camera.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting my edges together.
Your hairline's
And let me just,
uneven.
Mr. Sab over here needs to find a better stream.
You know what? I will when you put some energy into it. I will.
Guys, I put a lot of lying now.
Mm-hmm. Now,
You
now we're going to get it together. We'll get it together. All right. So we're wrapping that
yeah.
up. Going on quickly. We're going to swift through these next topics. The mother of three children who drowned in Brooklyn.
Oh,
Um,
oh, oh my goodness. I already heard.
arrested and charged with second-degree murder, according to CNN. Now, they were saying that it was second degree at first, and now all of a sudden, 2 days ago, I'm hearing that it's first degree. But I don't know which one it really is. Yeah. I think it's sad.
Oh,
Oh, Lord, it's COVID. COVID,
Nikki, you better go
Lord.
on somewhere. No, it's extremely sad, honestly. And situations when it comes to kids, I don't like hearing about these things.
Yeah,
I don't know what else. This lives are so precious. Everybody's life is precious. It is. But it's
yeah.
like that. They don't do nothing
Like,
to deserve this.
no.
But
Uh,
these kids,
um, 3 years old, 7-year-old, and I believe a 4-year-old. She
yeah,
she
like stop
drowned.
having kids if you're not ready for everything that comes with them.
Yeah, they said
And
that the
if
seven
people
year
see
old.
that they're not mentally there, then they need to be like, I know the system is very corrupt and they'll take you out your home from when you got bigger things like parents are battling with mental health, and mental health is
Yeah,
a big like that's a big thing within our community. If that's the case, I feel like get the people some help and also take the kids. I see that something in that situation and you say something.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I don't know. I'm not going to put this out there as something that is true, but I don't know if the family members knew something was wrong with the mother, because reading in the articles, there's the news reporters are saying that the mom told some relatives that she had did something bad. Oh no, wait. Let me back it up. Not the first time she didn't. She did not admit it. The first time, she said something like, uh yeah, she mentioned the names of the children, and she said they're gone. And I
Mm.
guess maybe in the state of mind or being or emotional being that she was in while um okay while I guess trying to explain what happened to the children,
Mhm.
she I think she was in a puzzled state of mind. But
Mhm.
I think they knew something extensive than the situation, that this woman could have been also mentally ill, or she was battling some things, because also they reported that the mother took the 7-year-old out of his football activity. He was in the football team.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I think signs could have been around, like, when you start seeing a
That's what
child
I'm
disappearing,
saying.
something is
Something
not wrong. We're the
ain't
mandated
right.
reporters.
Exactly.
We are the
So the
mandated
situation is,
reporters
yeah, this is stop having kids if you're not ready for what
to
comes
have
with them.
children.
You know, and
Right.
it's not. And I listen, but I clearly see it's not easy having them.
Mm-hmm.
You can pop kids out all you want. You won't have to take care of them. You're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a parent.
Right. So, um,
But
stop having kids. If you're not ready to be a mother, a sufficient mother to carry
hello, shit,
responsibility,
mother.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not ready to, most of all, train a child in the way that they should go, then you shouldn't be having no kids. Tie your tubes.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot going on or something. Take birth control or something like that. I don't know. Something.
I think birth control is something right.
Something. All right, next topic. Queen Elizabeth, who recently died.
Oh
And
God, here we
yeah,
go.
Queen Elizabeth. We all know the story about Queen Elizabeth. Many could say, oh, that she was a bad woman because of whatever she did with Princess Diana. Is that what they say? um
Mm-hmm.
as a background story. So people have their different inputs on that, but I really feel like, I feel bad for, I mean, of course she's older, her time was going to come. I think nobody can say that they
Oh
didn't expect her time to come. I don't mean no shade by that, but I mean, she's 90
no,
something
no,
years
no. I
old.
know
We only
you
got
did.
120 something years to live.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna live to 200. I'm gonna be the first one to do it.
Well, you know what, listen, we going to see that. We're gonna wait and see. And at your funeral, I'm gonna make sure I put a post up on your casket with an index card, slip it right under your neck, and say, "I told you so."
Oh, ooh,
No.
Elizabeth. She was old.
She was. So nobody cannot say that they didn't expect that. You know.
You're right.
But people also, I feel like people were waiting for her to die.
Oh,
I wasn't.
wasn't I? Listen, I don't wish death upon nobody.
Right.
To
First
be
and foremost, I'm too
honest,
busy
I
to be
wasn't
sitting and
so
think about
in
somebody
tune.
dying.
Yeah, I wasn't too in tune with life. So,
Hmm.
well, yikes. But
Right. Well, rest in peace to
I'm
Queen
like,
Elizabeth.
yeah,
Rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth. I hope that, of course,
under those
she lived a good
circumstances.
life.
Oh, did she really live a good one?
I don't know. People have different
What do you
inputs.
know?
I listen. You know what? I know one thing. I'm about to teletransport my foot over to Harlem to kick some butt.
Oh man. So yeah, I think it is what it is. But yes, rest in peace, Miss Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, rest in peace to Queen E.
You know
Um Next topic we
what?
got dealing with politics. We have white men get angry after University of Kansas offers course called Angry White Male Studies. They're getting angry, girl. They're getting angry, Erica. Um
Girls are outside getting married.
Listen, no, this is the men, the
No,
white men.
I know. But I say the girls. The girls are tussling.
Oh, you saying another hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
culturally speaking.
Yes.
She's so ghetto. She's
Can
so
can
ghetto.
can you get on?
Nah,
Can you get on board? So
I hear you.
uncultured.
I hear you. You know what it is? I think that the truths hurt. I think that whoever this professor
Honestly,
is, hmm
y'all don't want to get me into this topic. I'm gonna tell y'all now, cause you got them. You know, white males, white
yeah.
people in general.
Well, first of all, she don't want to get into this topic too much because she got a train to catch at 9:44 to go take it to
No.
somewhere
Oh.
and leave me hanging by my
Well,
doggone self.
and let me tell y'all, no, he's a liar. You're such a liar. You know, I made such a because we put our effort into this.
Yeah, we did.
Mr. Traveling places at night, all types of night.
Who? Wait, who? Me? Do
Sad,
what at
ain't that
night?
you? I said, you got me traveling all types of nighttime.
That's a lie. We travel where?
I'm traveled on this podcast.
You know what? Child. And I hope you make it. I'm gonna make sure you make it on time for your train ride.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Be the runaway slave that you are.
Ooh.
Go to the underground.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I think whatever that the University of Kansas is doing, I think it's a good course. People are mad. I mean, not people, but I think they said the senator of Kansas is mad. First and foremost, Kansas is a racist state. I know it. How I
Yeah.
know it is because I
Half
lived
of
there
these states
before.
is racist. Okay.
And they do not want the truths to be told. They want to keep their states very conservative in their traditional wicked ways, and they don't want to expose the truth, and they don't want to go on forward to the modern time. Not everything in the modern time is good, but they don't want to move on from racist statutes that they have going on in that state. I never forget
Right.
when I lived both states where I lived at before is Georgia and Kansas, and I have witnessed, especially, man, it's so crazy that whoever this professor is in charge of this course at this
Mm-hmm.
university, he has a part of one of his what's that thing we have in college in the syllabus. There's a particular topic that they have called what is it? It's called something versus Trumpism. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Trumpism? Trumpism can be a thing because
Mm-hmm.
remember when he first became president, or when he was not even when he became president, but when he was running for president. You know how the Caucasian people or race, let me not categorize it as everybody, but select few in that race felt like they had an agenda because he was running for president. Like the supremacists thought
Yeah.
that they were going to have some type of leeway to do and revert back to old nigga picking ways. I'm gonna say it like that. They thought so. So that's although Trump may disagree, he may not categorize himself or say that there is such a thing called Trumpism. But I could agree with with the professor to say that yeah, it's true because he didn't say anything. There's two accounts where he didn't say anything, and I'm not against Trump in like totally. I'm against some of the things he does,
Mm,
but
mm.
he did not correct those supremacists when they were out there with their signs, in which I did witness somebody who had a
Mhm.
big old sign that says send them Niggers back to where they came from, aka those monkeys.
What? No
I've
no
seen it.
way.
I've seen it, and one of my good homegirls at the time rolled my car window down, and she cursed that man out as we were riding by. But and I've seen the white supremacist flags on
It's like how
little
much
business cards.
can
Baby, they
we keep
raised them
fighting,
high.
keep fighting. They not seeing hear us. They don't
But the
see
thing
us.
is that they don't say anything though, Erica. He didn't say anything, and recently, in like 2 months ago or so, when with this, I think it was the abortion thing that happened. Whoever this senator was of whatever state or such, whoever she was, she said she thanked Trump for whatever he did to save white lives. Now, some people may say that she said that because white people do get more abortions than anything. But I'm like, well, why you got to say it like that? Why do you have to point that out as if it was for white lives only? You get me?
Right. Mm.
You know,
Yikes. I remember that.
you remember that. So, you
Yeah.
know, long story short, um, I applaud the university for coming up with this course. It's an extensive
Mhm.
subject, and I just hope that, if anything, it's able to change mindsets for good. For good.
Which we,
Next topic.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's what we can hope for, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Racism, it lives forever.
It, yeah. Until Jesus Christ comes back, it's not gonna die down.
No.
Unfortunately, just keeping it real. All right. Next topic. Next topic. We got a North Carolina pastor. His name is Pastor Jewel Lee. He is under fire for a sermon that he gave condemning men with long hair. He claims that the Bible condemns men having long hair. That ain't God. That's worldliness, he said. The pastor said, how can you,
What?
as a man, and you tying your hair up into a bun? Men don't want, men don't walk around with buns on their head. And the Bible says that that's a shame for a man. I didn't say that. The Bible said that's a shame. In other words, he's saying that
Wait a
buns
minute.
is
So,
okay, but it's not okay for men. Oh no, he said the pastor. The pastor then resorted back to saying that he said that, see, that's the problem for this is for those who are offended. He said, see, that's the problem. We are so easily offended. The Bible said that that's a shame for a man to have long hair. That ain't God. The pastor tells his congregation to look at somebody and says that to your neighbor that is worldliness.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pastor
okay.
Jewel Lee.
That was very Pastor Julie. The nerve.
Mm-hmm. The
Being
nerve.
okay, who's like very. You're in church every Sunday. Amazing. And I'm trying to get to that point as well. How did you take that comment? Was
You know,
that
me
such
as a yeah, me
as a man of God?
as a
Like,
man of God,
mhm,
as a church, a young boy that grew up in church, raised in church, left the
right,
church, came back to church, because of God's
okay,
love, not the people, but because of
right,
God's love that drew me. Um, and the people that God used. Everybody's not bad. Every pastor's not the same. Every church is not the same. Jesus Christ was real about that years, decades, ages ago. He said you have the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and then you also have different churches that he disagreed with,
mhm,
and then you have the churches that Jesus Christ came to build upon his rock, and that we stand on his rock. Not just any rock, but the solid rock, which is Christ and his statutes and
okay,
his guidance, his leadership. The Bible just says that men cannot dress in the likeness of a woman.
Okay.
But
I, you know,
it don't say
I
nothing about
have
no
to.
long hair. And if it did, if it did say anything like that, I mean, we have Romans, we have the book of Romans, we have the book of what is it? Romans talks about certain things. We have also, I think, Ecclesiastes. Isn't it? No, not Ecclesiastes. It's a former book in the Old Testament of Moses, where Moses, the former
Mhm.
laws, which in which Christ came to break, he came to override and show
Right.
us as the world, as God in flesh, a new a grace beyond the laws. Let's say it like that. Um,
Mhm.
because look at also if you're look at the law of Moses, where if you were sleeping with somebody else's wife or so, or if a woman was sleeping committing
This
adultery,
man.
you had to stone them. To some were stoned to death. But going back to the Samaritan woman, not the Samaritan woman, but I think, I don't know what where she was from. I can't remember right now, but there was a woman who they were about to stone, in the New Testament, and Jesus stepped in the middle of it and said, "No, okay, haven't we all sinned? Okay, so grace.
You
Let me
know
not just
what?
Jesus, but grace steps in the middle and says, "I am the law. I
Right.
am the I am that I am, and this is what we ought to do. We ought to love. We ought to
Right.
set the he came to set the mark straight, for the world, not giving permission to sin, but to bring us out of sin. But as for long hair is not a sin. Long hair, we have hair. Look at Jesus. Jesus has a lengthy type of hair, like wool and white. Look at
Well, I
Samson in
look
the
at it
Old
like
Testament.
this.
He had long hair. Hold on, let me tell the world this. Samson in the
Now
Old
go ahead.
Testament had long hair, in which people believed that, not people, but some could assume that that his long hair gave him strength to combat against God's enemies. And in the Bible, it teaches us that that's not really the truth. In the end of Samson's battle, after Samson stopped getting distracted with lust, Samson rises up again, and mind you, his hair was cut. Samson realizes that it wasn't the hair that was the source of my strength. It was already the power and authority and of strength that God already instilled within me to break the pillars of that wicked place that he was in, to break down God's enemies and to crush down the devil's head. That was that was the power, that Samson had bestowed upon him. It wasn't his hair, but still he had long hair, and he was not ridiculed for it. You get me? So go ahead, Erica.
Right.
I'm going to give the floor to you.
I feel like, you know, I've always been a firm believer that God loves you no matter what. How He's with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it don't matter, gay, straight. I feel like He's gonna love you either way. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I no stain. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Adam. It was Adam and Eve, not Adam. But I'm a firm believer that either way it goes, He still loves you. Listen, that's all my opinion, really, to be honest.
I hear you. And
That's what I really truly feel like.
I also want to say that I encourage people to um look for seek humble yourself first and seek God and God in Christ for yourself, and let God lead you to a leadership in the church who who has who fasts, who prays, who has close connection with the Lord, who has wisdom of God and understanding to help translate different things to you. Because not everybody who has a title, we don't know how they got their title, has godly understanding and godly love or fruits of the Spirit. Because some people can hurt you, um, from whatever denominations of church. Um, the church is not perfect. Um, you have different types of churches, but at the end of the day, there's one body of Christ. And I say,
Mhm.
acquaint yourself with that one body of Christ. And with those who understand what that one body of Christ is like and what the fruits of the Spirit of God is like. Because if you and I mean, it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience. It's a journey. I've dealt with church hurt for different reasons. Maybe one day I'll be real about why, the reasons why. Maybe in the next episode I'll tell some of my stories. And this is not to bash the church. This is to out. This is to um, the wrong ones have to be pointed out. The wrong ones have to be exposed, and the real ones, the real
Mhm.
body of Christ, have to have to be presented. They have to come to the forefront. um those real ones have to do it, you understand? So it's not about bashing anybody. It's about coming to the forefront and showing the real love of God to people, and telling people the real truth, showing and presenting God as a father, showing Christ as the real savior to people, the unconditional everlasting love, the I am that I am, God in flesh, God in spirit, and the Holy Spirit that advocates for us, and so forth, so forth. That's what it's about. And you can freely come to God as long as you're humble. Come to Him, because that's what He wants you to do. But as far as, not to get off topic, but long hair, it's nothing wrong with men having long hair, and many men have had long hair. Many.
Mhm.
Many men have had long hair. I've had long hair.
Right.
I'm actually growing my hair back. And guess
I
what? I ain't gonna
heard.
feel no way about it.
I heard you used to have hair longer than these feet.
You said what?
I heard you used to have more hair than these
Then who?
females.
I sure did. I had long
That's
hair
what
that
I heard
reached
all about
down
it.
to my elbows. And they was
All
so
right, you
mad about
reaching.
how much I cut my. No, I ain't reaching. I'm telling you the truth. You just jealous. Cause your scalp can't grow it like how mine did.
Oh, you mad? You a hater?
I ain't mad. I got pictures to prove it. I have. Don't let me start screen sharing. I got pictures to prove that sucker.
You know what?
And I used to take care of my hair, go to the salon, get it nicely pressed out if I wanted it pressed out. If I wanted it braided, I'll go get it braided. If I wanted it twisted, I had different types of styles that were suitable for men. You understand? If I want to get dreads, I'm gonna get dreads. If I want braids, I'm gonna get braids. If I want a Senegalese twist, I'm gonna get a Senegalese twist. And I ain't gonna feel no way about it. I used to have an insecurity about having long hair, in the midst of being at church, until I learned, like, why are you ashamed? And guess what? I didn't cut my hair for the church. I didn't cut my hair for religion either, because I don't believe in religion. I
Mhm.
believe in Christ's uh, in the life of Christ. That's what I believe in. And I
Right.
didn't cut my hair for the church. I did it because, one, I was tired of having hair or spending mad money on hair.
Mhm.
Secondly, God kept showing me, "Oh, you're gonna cut your hair," and I was like, "I don't know why you want me to cut my hair." I don't know if it was like, at the time, I didn't know if God wanted me to cut it, if He wanted me to cut my hair, or if it was just me because of how I felt. But I had visions, and He showed me cutting my hair. And one of my good girlfriends, one of my good sisters, was like, "Oh, I see you cutting your hair," and I was like, "Okay, well, that's confirmation, because that's what I kept seeing too."
Mhm.
But I did it because at the time I was in a new dimension of my life. I was in a new refreshment, a new
Mhm.
restoration of my life. So I cut my hair. And so my
Right.
thought process now is not like how it was back then. So if I had
Mhm.
my hair now, it's just different than what it was back then for me. Um,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But long story short, you ain't finna tell me, as a man or a man of God, that I can't have no braids, I can't have no twists, I can't have no dreads, or my length is too long. No, you ain't gonna tell me that. Okay?
Right.
Period.
Okay.
Oh, we got somebody in the chat. Period. You're not about
Right.
to tell me that. You know what I mean? I
You
see
said we
you,
got somebody
Nisha.
in the chat.
Yeah, it's Tanisha. She up in the
Oh,
chat. You know what I'm saying? So you're not about to tell me that I'm going to hell, and you're not going to categorize long hair for a man and say that I'm dressing like a woman, because I'm not. I'm comfortable in my manly clothes with my
mhm,
long hair, with my braids, with my twists. You know what I'm saying? I don't got it in
mhm,
no hump or nothing like that. And guess what? What about Cat Williams? You got rock artists. You got the Puerto Rican Dominican men out there, the white men. You got Snoop Dogg. And let me tell you something. Snoop Dogg and Cat Williams were really good with permanent hair. They were really good. Cat Williams would get that good
mhm.
flip. Snoop would get that good curl going on with his hair, the
Oh
baby hair and everything like
yeah.
that. So, and
Mhm.
you know what I think that is? I think what he said was, instead of him preaching the gospel, he preached social construct and poison from the black community, because we have different
Right.
masculine poisons in our black community that we teach our children. Like I heard somebody the other
Right.
day say to one of the kids at the job, "Oh, you can't say
Mhm.
hi." A little boy say, tell him
Mhm.
you can't say hi to another man if a man greets you. Um, I disagreed with that. He
And I
said,
know.
say what's up.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. If or sometimes I'll say hi, what's up, or if
Mhm.
you're a little boy, some little kids are used to saying hi or hi. They
Right.
kids, let kids be kids. I feel like as black people, don't mess a child up like that. You know what I'm saying?
And our
Still
community
raise little boys as
is good
boys, but
for
don't
that.
mess them up. Yeah, we good for that.
Our community is good for. I mean, good for that. Like it's
Too good
terrible
for it.
sometimes.
Yeah, we're too good
Kids
for
is
it.
gonna be kids, and they're exposed to certain things. But I mean, it's like, how can we help that?
Right. How can we help that? You know what? The thing is, just by simply doing what we're doing now, having the conversations with each other, and
Mhm.
prayerfully, God we will always send somebody into that person's life to help them to unlearn whatever those destructive ideas are. That's all that we
Right.
can do, is to help somebody unlearn things that poison the mind. That's it. All right. Um, all right, we closing out. We closing out. We closing out. So Erica can get her nappy head on that train
And
and do
let
what
me
she gotta
tell y'all,
do.
I can't wait to. We're gonna have a better stream, you guys. This today, the
We
devil was
are.
really working. It was just a lie, but
We are.
we're gonna get it together. We're
We
still
are.
beginners. We're gonna take it far.
Right. Let me tell you something. I don't really care what people think. Whether they feel like it's unofficial or it's tacky, this and that, I don't care. Listen, it's either you rocking with us or you ain't. Or
Okay.
if you understand or you don't understand. Or if you're into the
Right.
topics or you're not. You got the click button to the left or you got the click button to the right. Whichever one you want to do, I care less. You feel
Okay.
me? Things happen. But we here. All right. So let
Right.
me ask us this question though. We closing out. Last question is, if we're married and in a relationship, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. Do we agree?
Yes.
What?
Come on. Like I mean, married. Yes.
What? Even if we marry, I don't. What's mine is mine. I'm sorry, excuse me, because that's how I feel. But what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine.
That's how
Think
you
about it.
like. I'm thinking about it. Let me say this to a certain extent, but
Mm-hmm.
you see that your partner, like, I feel like sometimes.
Tanisha said, "Nah."
No.
She said, "Nah, thank you." See, Tanisha, get your tail back on this line because I need to hear another female's perspective.
Maybe that's just me, but like, if somebody tells me, I'm like, oh, okay.
One thing my mom said, I heard my mother say in her wisdom, she said, okay, well, there will be times where you both will share things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And but then you still have rights to being your own individual. So just like money,
Oh
for
yeah,
an example.
absolutely. I'm rephrase because that is true. I feel like yes, in some part of our in some part of share things, we're married, which
Hmm.
means okay, this is a commitment for us.
Hmm.
Now it's not just you anymore; it's you and your partner. Sometimes you can't just think about yourself; you have to think of
Tanisha said, right. She said,
sometimes.
because she said her money is her money. Okay.
No, yeah,
Uh,
my money is my money. If one of us is struggling, are you gonna be there for me? Is your money gonna be my money at that point?
But you know what? This is why you have joint accounts with each other, one joint account. And then I believe in my individuality, I have a right to have my own individual personal account, bank account, because that's my rights to my personal money.
Well, oh
But
yeah,
whenever things go down between that concerns both of us, that's what that joint account is for. But under certain conditions that we have conversations. But when it comes to
I can
my
honestly.
money, we got nothing to talk about. We
That's one thing I can
don't
be
have nothing to talk
honest
about.
with you.
Tanisha said, "Yes, I will lift my partner back up, but I wouldn't even want a joint account because Negroes are trifling."
You
You
know, a joint
know,
account is not
mm,
something I'm
that's
willing to
true.
have. I don't want. Who's to say when we not in the right space that you just won't steal? But you know what? An account we could do a little $20 here and there
Right. But you know what? It's like a
and build
prenup.
it.
There should be some type of contract. If you're going to have a joint account, I feel like you and your husband should have sign a contract, get that sucker notarized, sign a contract that under
Mm-hmm.
certain whatever conditions or agreements that you guys will have that joint account under, instead of just having it all willy nilly, da 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 da. You understand?
Right.
So that's my take on that. And I feel like I might be wrong, but I always say this, even with housing. If we married, I don't know. Like maybe I feel like this because of the blessing of what happened to me, because I enjoy having my own place. I enjoy having my own
Mm-hmm.
home. I enjoy how I decorate my home. And maybe one day I'll give a nice tour of my home. But I enjoy having my place and organizing it nice and neat the way I have it. And if I have somebody come up in my place and be unclean and not neat and just all I can't. Everybody's not clean. I just can't. We would have to live in a separate house. Like I think I would want to be married with somebody who don't mind
Mm-hmm.
living in separate houses, and that would never.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
spend a night at my house,
No, I
we
would just
was
get
we
a
spend the
house,
night.
but we could have sometimes.
You said what?
We just gonna need our own, but the other one just in case you know things ain't is
We
going
just
rock.
mm-mm, I
But a
feel like
whole new
we
apartment.
need.
I'm a clingy girl.
You are, but that's why you can go to his house whenever
You
you ready to clean.
know what?
Whenever you're ready to clean, you go to his house. Whenever he's ready to clean, he come to your house. Here and there.
Mm,
Whenever you have an argument, or whatever, you don't feel like sleeping together. It's none of that. Oh, I'm going to the couch stuff. No, because I pay for this bed as much as you pay for this bed. I'm going to my home to pay for the bed that I brought, that I purchased, that I insuranced, and we could take our little day break like that, and we come back together here and there. I don't know. Maybe my perspectives will
yeah,
change on that.
I guess.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's it, everybody. Listen, it was a pleasure having you. It was a
It was
pleasure having you guys
amazing.
tune in. Next time it's gonna be better. We're gonna have some more excitement and everything going
Yes.
on. Um
Yes.
but those are the topics for today. I want you guys to have an amazing evening and the rest of your weeks. Tune in next
And the rest
Monday.
of your Sunday, enjoy it.
Right. Tune in next
At
Monday at
7
12 p.m.
p.m.
See,
What?
you say you all wrong. You're just wrong. Like you're wrong now. You're just wrong. Just you just wrong. Just wrong, wrong, wrong. You're wrong.
It was at the end for me. 12 p.m. 7 p.m.
Oh
As
my
Mickey said, I said
God.
12 p.m. You
12
guys.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And if you want more
Mhm.
updates, the podcast will first and foremost, the podcast will always be, it will launch onto Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts at 12 p.m. And then you could just have unlimited time to listen and tune in for the rest of the week. But each new episode will be on Mondays at 12 p.m. If you want more updates, you can visit www.iammickeyofficial.com, where you can sign up for the email list, get updates through there, and be prepared for our next tune in, our next kiki, our next chat. And yeah, so see
And
you
maybe
guys
some
next
more
time.
guests.
Yeah, maybe some more guests with a better session.
Yes.
Some more guests. All right, so that's it, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Tune.
Good night,
Peace.
you guys.
Erica, go catch your train.
It was 9:27. I wanted to catch up. Let me go get myself together. I
Get
love
yourself
you,
together.
Mickey.
I love you too. Bye.
All right. Bye.